Lesson 2. Once I've got a friend, I'll be careful not to presume on him or her. That we might be bothering someone is an everlasting concern of Americans, even among good friends. Irish people live in each other's pockets, said one woman. It's completely different here. You keep your distance. I will be very hesitant to ask friends for favors. One of my attractions as a friend is that I am not demanding. If I were, my prospective friends would be likely to back off. Neediness scares people. Rather than having to refuse a request, we prefer to have friends we can trust to make their requests rare and reasonable. We ourselves do not wish to be indebted to anyone else. We like reciprocal arrangements because they keep the scales balanced. This week I drive my friend to the airport. Next week she drives me. A Chinese woman said that she tried to join a child care cooperative, but she found the system so complex to make sure that no one person did more than anyone else that it drove her crazy. Eventually, in a friendship, one can begin to take small services for granted. The loan of a dress, a phone call to find out vital information. But no one expects a real sacrifice. No matter how desperately my friend might need a babysitter, she would never ask me to miss a day's work to take care of her child. I have sometimes been very confused when foreign friends did remarkable things for me, drove me great distances, or took the subway to the airport to meet me. Such things are not in our vocabulary, and I find it difficult to respond. For the average American, the feeling of being indebted is practically a physical pain. When a neighbor had to store some things in my freezer after hers broke down, she could not rest until she had made me a special dinner. I rescued another neighbor's runaway dog, and she brought me a cake. In point of fact, most of us are human and like to be helpful and would not mind receiving only thanks for a good deed. It is not a coincidence that the only person on our block who borrows our garden tools was born in Trinidad. We are delighted to loan them, but our other neighbors would rather buy their own, even if it means spending a lot for something they use once a year. Attitudes are different in small towns, where people know each other's families well, and besides don't have the money to buy tools they use once a year. Here, a great deal of socializing goes on in the name of borrowing and returning things. In the cities, affluence has afforded independence, but it is significant that Americans would rather put their money into independence than into some other luxuries.